Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things going on in the world of professional wrestling. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling. I'm your host, the Psycho Killer Josh, and joining me is the Sister of Sin, Dawn. This episode, we're breaking down AEW Collision. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to us in Arlington, Texas, and I'm excited for this one. This was a pretty solid episode of Collision, and continuing with the kind of championship defenses that has been this past week in AEW. There's three more title matches on the card tonight. Um, to get us started is one of the only non-title matches, but it's going to be a sickos match, and it's going to be Darby Allin
Jeez.
versus debuting Clark Connors. I feel like I've seen Clark Connors before, but I couldn't honestly tell you if it was when we looked briefly at like New Japan Wrestling or if I've seen him in AEW at least once before. But
Yeah, I
um,
don't know, but I feel like we have seen him. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe with
and
Kid.
he's known as a running buddy of Gabe Kidd's,
Yeah,
at least in New Japan. And what were your thoughts on this opening match?
I think um that I want to knit Darby a comfort blanket, uh, and some cookies. Just make some cookies. No, real seriously, this was a crazy match, and honestly, Darby Allen is insane, bro. Um,
Yeah,
that there's this one point in the match where he is on the top rope and he gets knocked off of it uh by oh my god,
Clark
this guy,
Connors.
yeah, by Connors. I'm gonna just by Okani here. And it like he like oh my god, Darby fell as if he just didn't care about his life at all. Like there was he could have grabbed the rope. He could have. I'm telling you, there was a moment where he could, and he was like, nah, fuck it, reckless abandon, and just fucking fell like a wad of tissue paper out of someone's car window. Like he just fucking fell, and like he hit his head on the side of the
Apron.
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like just bounced off and just fucking plopped on the floor, and I'm like, my soul and my heart. I he Darby gonna make me go back to church. Like
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm
Darby
gonna pray
Allen,
for him. He's
oof.
insane. He's insane. But I think it's my fault. It's my fault and people like me. It's us. We enable him, god damn it. Because we're gonna fucking watch it. You know we're gonna watch it. And probably show others or like we're
Well, I
gonna
mean,
we're
I
gonna
don't know
watch
what to
it and
do in that
recap.
situation.
We're
Eh,
gonna watch it and we're gonna be entertained. And he's gonna like he's nuts. He's nuts, man.
well, and you
And
definitely don't want Darby to kill himself in the ring and nobody saw it.
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Um views matter. Uh yeah. This guy is crazy. This match was insane. I don't remember if I enjoyed Connor when I saw him the last time. But I'm positive that we've seen him. Um, maybe we didn't see him in the ring. Maybe we just saw him with a kid. I'm not sure, but I feel like we've seen this little face. Um, but he was amazing in the match. Him and Darby work very well together. Darby is excellent at ragdolling, and Connor is excellent at yeeting. So it was a match made in heaven.
Match made
Um,
in heaven. Yeah.
yeah, I thought this was a great opener. It gets people in the right mood. Yeah, just go ahead and start cringing now. Um, you know, biting your lip, flinching. Get ready. Welcome to AEW.
Yep. Yeah, this was definitely the sickos match. And not because there was like excessive blood or anything. It's just like you almost feel guilty watching Darby Allin get the hell kicked out of him every time he's out in the ring. And this was, of course, no exception to Darby getting the hell beat out of him each match lately. Um, I gotta say, as debuts go, this was a good one for Clark Connors. He looked good in the ring. I
Yeah.
especially liked he did a sunset flip powerbomb to Darby, who was up on the corner turnbuckle, the top. And immediately upon hitting that, if that wasn't gross enough, Darby kind of rolled through and ended up back on his feet, only to be the recipient of a very good looking spear. And I was like, that's got to be it, right? Like, because he tried to pin and it was like 2 3/4 and Darby kicked out. And I was like, oh, man. So, yeah, sick match. Good debut for Clark. Looked real good against Darby. Ultimately, he ends up succumbing to the Scorpion Deathlock from Darby Allin. But I feel like Darby Allin, when he wins, it's like a Pyrrhic victory because one,
Yeah.
he took like so much bumps and damage to get the win in the first place. And in this situation, he gets jumped afterwards because he starts trying to talk about how he has conquered all of the Death Riders in 2025. And before long, Gabe Kidd enters the ring and starts kicking the crap out of Darby. And Clark Connors, once he recovers from, the Scorpion Deathlock breaking his spine, he jumps in and they eventually end up stacking the outside ring stairs on top of Darby Allin, and Gabe Kidd is standing on them, talking about how this isn't Death Rider's business, this is Gabe Kidd business, and it ain't over until Darby is 6 feet under. And I was like, man, they're just outright threatening to kill Darby at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the don't kill Darby chance, but I don't
Yep.
know. Maybe Arlington was like, "No, go ahead and kill." I don't
Nah,
know.
that's all right. If you're gonna do it, though,
Yeah,
do it here.
yeah, yeah. But an absolutely sick match to open the show. Like
Sick
you're
nasty.
right. This totally sets the mood, um, and lets you know that people are about to get their ass whooped.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly.
And then following that match, we are taken to the Babes of Wrath, where we peek back at Dynamite, showing Willow and Harley putting the tag titles up against Julia Hart and Sky Blue on the condition that they don't interfere in Tekla and Statlander's championship match. And they didn't. And so tonight, the Sisters of Sin are getting their shot at the Babes of Wrath for the women's tag team titles. And I'm here for it. I'm really, really a big fan of the Babes of Wrath. I think they're great. And the Cosmic Babes of Wrath is like fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the courtesy is returned in this tag championship match where Tekla and Stat maybe stay out of it.
Yeah. We'll see.
But after that, uh, Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin the Jet Knight are backstage with a message for the Don Callis family. Mike Bailey says that he heard that the Callis family is looking for gold, and they just happen to have some, being the trios champs. And they also know that Callis wants the AEW World Title, but their partner Hangman Page doesn't ride alone. Um, So if the Callis family's looking for a fight, they'll be right there. And they I want to say Bailey goes to say the tag team name, and after he said the horsecocks last time, Kevin Knight's quick to cut him off and says, "Hey, we're Jet Set Radio." Sorry, Rodeo. I
Oh,
got it
yeah,
confused with that game Jet Grind Radio because it sounds like that, but yeah, they're Jet Set Rodeo.
rodeo. Why did you God, now I promise it's gonna be Jet Set Radio in my head from now on. Thanks a
Yep,
lot.
my
Thanks.
apologies. But
Love it.
after those two quick promos, we are treated to um one of the only other non-championship matches. It's the in-ring debut of the Rascals, specifically Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz out of the three, versus the Crew, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush. And they're now coming to the ring with Lacey Lane. Um, and I was real curious to see this match. One, I'm not super familiar with the Rascals. Like, were they
Yeah.
in TNA? Um, and we haven't seen the Crew for a minute. So I was like, okay, well, let's see what these two can do. And what were your thoughts on this tag match between these two high flyer teams?
It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And it's not that I don't like um Crew, like the two guys. It's not that I don't like them. I do. Um I like well, I mean, all right, I like Leo. I like Rush. I'll
But
say that.
but their jackets are stupid.
Yeah, their jackets are so stupid. Oh my lord, those are the dumbest little jackets I've ever seen. They look like spiked balls. And I guess that's the point, but you look like spiked balls, man. So anyway, um aside from their fashion sense, uh I like Leo. Um the other little dude I could take or leave. Because he hasn't really done anything as far as like high flyers are concerned. He doesn't really stand out to me. Um, but Leo does because I think he's a really good wrestler. He's certainly a really good character wrestler. He can do really cool things there. Um, so I was just fine with seeing him. I had not seen any of the Rascals. I had not like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah.
Like I they are being introduced to me just like they are to you with these matches. So I didn't have anything to compare them to, and I guess I could have done my research, but I'm a lazy cunt. So I didn't.
Jesus.
But what? Sometimes I am. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Um But, yeah, no, honestly, this I thought this was a pretty good match to introduce them or introduce themselves. Um, and I questioned whether or not Crew were the right guys for the job, but they didn't disappoint. I thought they looked good when they took the jackets off.
When they took the jackets off.
Okay, when they took the jackets off.
When they jacket off. Wait,
Oh no. Screaming on the inside.
spiked balls.
What did you think about this match?
I think I just summarized it. No, yeah, this was the debut of the Rascals, and I really didn't know what to expect from them going in. I mean, you can take a look at them, and you're like, okay, so these are probably going to be like acrobatic high flyer type dudes because they're built like acrobatic high flyer type dudes, and we've
Yeah,
seen as much from the Crew. I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. You nailed it when you said better than you thought it would be. Because
yeah,
I came in with very low expectations, so it was better than I thought it would be. Um, and maybe low expectations is wrong. Maybe just no expectations. Like I wasn't sure what I was gonna get.
right.
But I have to say the Rascals were very good, and so were the Crew. The both of these teams were really impressive with their moves and especially their tag team moves. Like, there were times where it was like a blur, like, "Where am I supposed to look? Where am I looking? Oh, there I'm
Look,
looking," you know?
yeah, yeah.
So, the crew has tightened up, and that's good because
Mhm.
they had kind of fallen off into kinda mediocre. And as a first showing for the Rascals, yeah, this is a high flying team and they're pretty good. I know we haven't seen the third member of the Rascals, but the two that we get to watch here, Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz, they did great.
Yeah.
Um,
I like to see them against Jet Speed.
oh yeah, yeah. I think they'd be good against Jet Speed. I also think they'd be good against Top Flight.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. Yeah.
but I was really impressed by the tag team moves, especially, and the way that they ended it with Zachary Wentz doing a standing moonsault. Like, I'm like, dude, you're not in the right position. Well, he showed me because he went for a standing moonsault. Like, I want to say he was at the feet of his opponent. And right as he was doing it, his partner, Desmond Xavier, pushes him in midair into the correct position over the top of his opponent. So he's doing this standing moonsault and gets basically pounced into the right spot for the 1, 2, 3. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay.
And if
So the Rascals,
anybody if anybody has ever seen it, like this, it's a dance move. What he did was a, and look, I know that they were probably not around when this was a thing, but there was a show that was on MTV with a group, a dance group called Quest Crew, and for I think the season finale or for the end of the season, uh that was one that dance move was the ending to one of their for the finals, like that for their little dance segment, that was the ending to it where one guy was on one side and there were 3 or 4 guys who were basically squatting uh in a row, and he had to push his partner across these 3 dudes, and I had seen that we're talking like 2009, 2000, maybe 2006, 2009, that was a thing. I hadn't seen that since then, so I immediately thought about that when I saw him do that, and I thought that is like, it's still one of the coolest things to freaking see.
yeah, no, I was impressed. And based on what you're saying, then the Rascals used a move from Quest Crew to defeat the Crew. So well
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Um, but they both looked really, really good. And for a match that I was really kind of, I don't know what to expect here, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, the Crew tightened up and looked good, and the
Yeah,
Rascals made an impressive debut in ring. So solid tag team match here.
agreed.
Speaking of solid tag teams, after this match,
Oh, yeah.
uh, we are taken to Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and they are discussing their partnership. And Hader realizes they aren't that different. And I'm like, yeah, you're both British. Um, but they basically agree that they don't like the same people. And then they decide it's time to have a bit of fun. And it looked like they were going to go shopping.
Yeah, they gotta go get their new outfits. I love it.
So, what do you think of this pairing so far?
Oh, I'm a little excited. So it's not I am a huge fan of Jamie Hayter. She was my second favorite uh after Stat Daddy. I'm sorry, Statlander is just like that. That's my girl. She's the quarterback here. And and I think Jamie Hayter is second, or I thought she was at the time when she came back um with the 60s vibe that she was popping off. I wasn't feeling that. Um and I wasn't really feeling the in-ring work at that point either. Um I think she needs a little bit of a change. And I hope that both of them don't come back in 60s gear. I I hope that that's not what they're about to do. Um because I'm gonna shit kittens. I don't want it. Um, hopefully this reinvigorates her wrestling or her in-ring work. And Alex Windsor grew on me. At first I didn't really know what to think of her. But I feel like she's a pretty solid competitor. So I would love to see both her and Jamie together in a tag team. I'd like to see where that goes. I think it could be pretty sick nasty.
I
But
I
you know,
definitely agree that it has the potential.
yeah,
Um,
it
if
could
I'm
be.
looking at yeah, if I'm looking at these two, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I feel like Hater since her return has not risen to where she was before she left.
Yeah,
She was wrestling for the AEW Women's title, and she was in the same company as like Tony Storm. And I feel like since she's been back, she hasn't been able to get back to that spot.
yeah,
Um, so I feel like Hater needs reinvention. Like that 60s girl or that 70s show thing that she's got going on just isn't clicking. And I agree
no,
with you. I feel like her in-ring work isn't as good as it once was either. I was really impressed with Jamie Hayter the first time I saw her, which was just prior or a little bit before she ended up leaving for having I think a shoulder injury for so long.
yeah,
And since she's been back, I'm like, okay, well, like where is that woman? You know, because the Hater
yeah,
that came back just isn't as great, I don't think. Um, so I feel like Jamie Hayter needs reinvention and possibly like something more impressive than just a standing clothesline as a finisher, you know?
yeah,
A little bit boring, honestly. And Alex Windsor just needs more exposure, I think. Like the couple few times we've seen her, I see potential there, but we haven't yet
hmm,
reached it.
yeah,
So I think both of these women could potentially be really good together. We'll just have to see if they're able to capitalize on it.
yeah,
Um, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hopeful for them. Uh, it could be really, really good, and it adds to the women's tag team division that is starting to grow like wildfire in AEW. They introduced the championships and seem to have a strong sense of what they want to do with them, and they're trying to build that division out. And so I'm here for it.
yeah. I too am here for it.
And then we come to a surprising thing. John Moxley cutting a promo towards Konosuke Takeshita. And the reason I say it's surprising is that in addition to him kind of having a bit of a face turn, I mean, I know he's still part of a heel faction, but with the crowd, he's over, right? Like since the Continental Classic,
Yeah.
his promos have also become coherent. I remember at the end of this particular promo, I'm like, who even are you, John Moxley? I'm used to you like being like, I guess you gave up drinking, but you sound drunk when you cut promos, but
Saying
now you're starting to be coherent.
saying some
So,
weird shit.
you know, he pretty much made the point that Konosuke Takeshita, he's a guy who likes a fight. He likes the challenge of a match that makes him feel like he's fighting for his life. And so he's hoping that Konosuke Takeshita didn't have anything to do with what the Don Callis family did to him last week. And he's really he's really thinking, Moxley hopes that him and Takeshita understand each other and that he's right about Takeshita and that Takeshita's better than the Don Callis family.
Mhm.
Mm, I hope so too. I'm really seeing a rift develop between Konosuke Takeshita and the Don Callis family, and they keep kind of signaling that there's about to be some sort of like explosive parting of ways between Takeshita and the Callis family. They even damaged like his attachment to Fletcher on Dynamite.
Yeah.
So there's increasingly less reason for Takeshita outside of having started the Don Callis family with Don Callis for him to stay there. So we'll see how that pans out. But I think it's going to be like a nuclear explosion between him and Okada.
Yup. And I'm here for it.
Absolutely. I mean, this has a nice build up going in. The payoff is
Mhm.
going to have to be immense.
Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, crazy turnaround with Moxley's promos. Crazy turnaround. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know what was
yeah,
happening. I mean, I don't like there were literally times where he'd be looking at the camera and be like, 8 eggs on a plate. That don't make a road. Like, wait, what? Like, I mean, my man was all over the place.
and it's certainly no reason for the chicken to cross it.
You look in
No, you're
my
not
eyes.
wrong. Yeah,
You think I'm potato chips?
his promos went from incoherent to like very good. Like I guess he got the face writer. I don't know. I don't know
I
what
guess.
changed, but it's good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. This is muffins, baby.
all the muffins,
This is muffins and eggnog. Uh,
right? He'd come out there and say, "In this business, sometimes you got to cut carbs, but you find that you still love muffins." And it's like, what are you talking about? What is happening?
that is a much better. Yes, that's it right there.
And even if you love muffins, are you here for the death muffins? And it's like, what even are you saying, Moxley? Walking around like a
uh,
cartoon character that's drunk, like a crazy old guy on the street.
yeah. Uh, are
And
you
just
the
to be
dark
clear,
chocolate
that
kind?
the dark chocolate guy.
Semi-dark chocolate?
Oh no! And then there's white chocolate. No, it's like okay. But this is not how Moxley is right now. This is like how he was, and it's night
Yeah,
and day. It's so crazy that his promos are now very coherent, and it's like,
yeah. Like
who are you?
they gave him the weekend off, and they told him to just go sleep, and he he finally had 2 nights of sleep,
Oh,
and
I
he
see.
came
So he's
back.
no longer working delirious.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck was I saying?" Yeah.
Exactly.
He's like looking at his
Welcome.
old promos like, what the fuck did I mean by that?" It's like,
Yeah, welcome to the rest of us, John.
I don't know,
Um,
Moxie, what did you mean by that? Like, I don't even own a groundhog. What?
yeah, yep.
He's like, "I'll make it right, guys." Yeah, and now
And he is. He
and
really
now
is.
he
He's
is,
he's
yeah,
doing great.
yes. And, like, he
But
comes out now and the fans are all, "Thanks for sleeping."
clap, 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 clap. Um, following John Moxley's remarkably coherent promo, we have a fun match for the night, which is a mixed tag team match between Timeless Tony Storm and her citrus boy, Orange Cassidy, versus
Citrus boy.
local talent, which immediately tells you what type of match this is going to be. Lady Bird Monroe and Gino Medina.
Gino
Uh,
Medina sounds like something that you catch, like a venereal disease.
oh no, not the Gino Medina.
It's like, "Honey, we need to talk. I think I might have Gino Medina." No!
No. Yeah,
Not the Medina.
but I mean, for all intents and purposes, Lady Bird Monroe and Gino Medina were just there to be punching bags for Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy
I don't know what you're
to set
talking
up
about.
spots
This was the
like
riveting
Tony
match.
Storm doing the butt cheek slam on a dude instead of a chick for a change.
Fake news. Guys, don't listen. Don't listen to my partner in crime here.
Oh,
He is
well then
incorrect. This was
kindly
a
kindly tell
detailed
me your thoughts on this match.
Academy Award nominated match. This was Lady Bird Monroe and one Gino Medina put in some of their best work.
They make a cream for
Uh,
that.
Mr. Medina, he did a great job of bouncing his head off of Tony Storm's butt. He had a great neck whip that really looked like he was like she was really giving it
Old
to
goo
him.
old gooseneck Gino.
Yeah, that's what they call him. That's what they call him on the street. Oh, Gooseneck Medina for completely different reasons. No, I'm just kidding. That's what
Ah.
they call him. Here comes old loose neck. No, pause. Here, pause. We'll move on. Anyway, Gino Medina, I thought did some of his best work. Uh, nay, definitely some of his best work. Lady Bird Monroe. I mean, again, who was gonna take Tony's butt to their face? Um, and she was given that butt. Pause. She did a lot with her butt. No, that's not good either. Uh, there were lots of butt play. Man, none of this, none of this is gonna sound good. No, kidding. All jokes aside, yeah, totally just a fun match.
Yeah.
Just
Despite despite what you were just saying, this match was not in fact ass.
no, it's not. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Subtle.
yeah. Tony Sturm and Orange Cast Daddy. I'm waiting for Tony to say that.
Orange Cast Daddy.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking daddy in AEW. You got
Everybody's a
Fat
fucking
Daddy, you got
daddy.
Don Callis calling himself daddy. It's like,
Blech.
ugh, I'm gonna have to
God.
wipe that word off my shoe now.
Blech.
Um, my thoughts on this match, it was a mixed tag squash match. Storm and Cassidy are comedy gold together. And the local talent did the job of basically taking Tony Storm's ass to the face until they got an orange punch. And then
Yeah.
that was it. Um, but what this really kind of was setting the stage for, fun match aside, was that immediately following the match, Orange Cassidy gets attacked by Wheeler Yuta. And in short order, Marina Shafir comes out and disables Tony Storm. So there's a whole point where Wheeler Yuta is conducting like an impromptu interview while Shafir has Orange Cassidy in a full Nelson. And it wasn't so full, like Cassidy almost broke out of it a couple of times, but essentially Wheeler's like, haha, now that the shoe's on the other foot, why don't you say something about my hair? And Cassidy's like, are you talking to me? I can't hear you through your stupid hair. And this upsets Wheeler Yuta, who jumps outside the ring and grabs some scissors. And it looks like Shafir and Yuta are fixing to cut Orange Cassidy's hair when Tony Storm intervenes, German suplexes Marina Shafir, and I don't Wheeler Yuta, I think, runs like a little bitch. And when Tony Storm has them outside the ring, she gets a hold of a mic and pretty much declares that their matchup that will take place at Grand Slam Australia will be a hair match. And whoever gets pinned will get their head shaved. Wheeler Yuta looked terrified.
Kept touching his hair.
He's like, no, not my shaggy mane that makes me look like I'm a step or two behind on the evolutionary chart.
Like, listen, I totally get it. I know his hair's all in his face. And, and I hate it. I hate that it's in his face. He looks like a little shaggy dog, but he has a beautiful set of hair, like a beautiful mane. Like his hair is gorgeous. I get it, but no, it's got to be cut. I think this whole fucking scenario was set up just so because they've been making jokes about his hair. Orange Cassidy has been making jokes about his hair. I know that this is all for the purpose of him getting a haircut. Uh, it was whoever gets pinned gets bald. I'm telling you, I think it's all. I
Yeah.
think it's all just to shave his little head.
Well, I'm hoping I understand that it's a nice kayfabe reason that they can tack on to this match to give it some
Mhm.
extra stakes. That's great. I'm not complaining by summarizing. Um, but I'm hoping it's a little bit more of a character turn for Wheeler Yuta because remember back when Daniel Bryan had just gotten like retired by the Death Riders and
Yeah.
Wheeler Yuta was like having this serious he goes into berserker mode and starts whooping ass and we were really impressed with him. I feel like Wheeler Yuta needs to come out of this like not take me seriously phase because he's a good enough wrestler and he's good enough on the mic when he gets mic time that he can be taken seriously. So if it's not just a haircut, but in fact a take me more seriously character turn, I'm here for it because I think Wheeler Yuta could stand out if he, can get away from being treated like a joke.
Yeah, he's great in the ring. Like him and Daniel Garcia may be close in size, but that's where it stops for me.
Yeah,
I think
to be
I think
perfectly
Wheeler is phenomenal. He's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, I think I prefer Wheeler Yuta significantly out of those two that you just compared
Yeah,
because the issue with Daniel Garcia is one, technical wrestling is generally kind of boring to me,
yeah,
and two, Wheeler Yuta has more personality in his pinky than Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is just like an extra from Jersey Shore, like, and not even that interesting. Is somehow, he is as boring as dry toast. It's not good. But Wheeler Yuta, I think I've seen enough sparks of potential over the years watching him that when he's given a chance, he can actually come across as being, good. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring.
yeah,
So it is my hope that we get more of a character turn and not just a shaved head. Because I think I think we both can kind of see that that's what this is for, right? Like
yeah.
clearly Wheeler Yuta's going to get pinned and have his head shaved. Not that it wouldn't be hilarious if it were Marina Shafir.
It
Um,
would be so funny if
but
it's
I do
orange.
yeah, I'm not sure it would have that much of an impact if it was Orange or Tony. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
way funnier if it's Wheeler and maybe Shafir afterwards, right?
yeah,
So I think your prediction for sure that it's going to be Wheeler Yuta that's getting his head shaved is going to be the case.
yeah,
Well, following that interaction and match, we are brought to Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, and Lexi's trying to have an interview with Kingston and Ortiz and the grizzled young veterans, and they say they've all agreed to no physicality. And Kingston's like, dude, can we just move on? Like, you beat us up, then we beat you up. We're good. There's no reason to keep going. And
yeah,
Gibson of the Grizzled Young Veterans says that Kingston doesn't understand and he never will because he couldn't walk a mile in his shoes. And that sets Kingston off because he's like, look, you've had your hardships or whatever. That's cool, but you don't know me and you don't know where I've been, and I could walk a mile in anyone's shoes. Um, and this all eventually leads to Kingston proposing a parking lot fight on the next Saturday Collision. And before the grizzled young veterans can answer, Big Bill's boot just comes flying across the screen and hits Eddie Kingston in the face. And we find out that Big Bill and Brian Keith were hired by the grizzled young veterans, and they basically get Ortiz and Kingston laid the hell out. And that's going to go over well in their little budding feud. But Gibson, I think, closes his segment saying you'll see him in the parking lot next Saturday. And that brings us to what I definitely think is the match of the night, the TNT Championship match with the defending Mark Briscoe and the debut of Tommaso Ciampa, the Psycho Killer. And what an opportunity to have his first match be for a championship. What were your
yeah.
thoughts on this amazing match?
Uh, yeah. I thought this was match of the night. They could have stopped here. Not that the rest of the show wasn't entertaining, but honestly, this was match of the night. I honestly thought that this was main event, or the main event, and I was
Yeah.
very shocked to find that it wasn't. Um, Tommaso. he hasn't looked this good since what, 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
Um, before he got brought up to the major leagues, I guess, in WWE. Um, and for some reason they, yeah, we all know they brought him back as like a fucking groupie for the Miz or something weird. I what?
Yeah. Not
What?
one single time on the main roster in WWE. Well, no, I take it back. There was only one single time that Tommaso Ciampa was taken seriously in his entire run on the main roster,
Yeah, and
and
that
that
was when he
was
went against Gunther. And
against Gunter. Yep.
yeah, and the problem that I had with that one at the time was that they were doing so by basically making him sound like he was a scrappy underdog. Um, he he's not. Like he should have come at Gunther with all the energy and vibe that he has right now in AEW. But for some reason they chose to do it that way, and bless him for it, I guess, because that led him to AEW, where the best in fact do fucking wrestle. I'll fight you. I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. Um,
Yeah.
and this was a fantastic example. Him and Briscoe start the match out by shaking hands. Ciampa's the one who extends his hand out, and Mark shakes it, and they have like a little conversation. Then they get to it, and after that, it was go time. This match was fantastic, and yeah, it was this freaking match was fantastic. I was And I know Mark Briscoe was in the match. He's good. He's always good. But I have to harp on Champa because I was so happy and excited to see him actually. Like I thought he was fantastic in NXT before he came to the main roster. I thought he was awesome. But this was even better than that. I was ready to see what he looked like outside of the boundaries set up on him in WWE. I wanted to see what AEW, because I mean it's way more lenient. I wanted to know like how he would look, and he did not disappoint. Um, yeah, this was a fantastic match, and I said when it first started, I asked you, I asked Josh, "Do you think he's gonna win?" And honestly, AEW is probably one of the only promotions that I've watched, and honestly, not there are times when I don't know who's going to win. Sometimes you think like you know how you watch a feud and you watch the back and forth and you say, "Oh, this person won that match, so the next time they have a match, he's gonna win." You can't really do that here. You can't do this in AEW. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes the guy who won last time will not win the second match between the same competitor. But sometimes they'll have him fucking win 3 matches in a row. You
Yeah.
honestly don't know. Sometimes the guy who just comes to the fucking show has a match that leads him into a championship match the second time he has a match in a like honestly, you don't know. So on
Yeah.
I did not know who would come because if any promotion was gonna give Ciampa the belt, the first match he has or the first attempt for the belt, it would be AEW. Yeah. So
You're not wrong.
and that's a huge credit. Like kayfabe is still a thing, man. It's not dead. It's not dead.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't. This is just my opinion, but I don't think a lot of people understand that if kayfabe were to truly die in wrestling, then I think wrestling would soon follow this type of wrestling, the sports entertainment. I think it would because what would be the point?
Yeah.
Like
Well, to to
you're not selling
flex
me
that,
anything at that point. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You're just
to take that analogy a step further, what is the point of Behind the Magic if you don't have the original Magic show to begin with? Which is where I'm gonna say it, WWE is heading. They're trying to kill the kayfabe, which is basically killing the show, just so that they can be 100% behind the scenes all the time. And
yeah.
I don't find that appealing. Like, not all the time, and certainly not in real time. Like, years later, if a retired star wants to tell us about a match and some shit, then it's not relevant in the same way as stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, that's
And if
different.
you can't pull the curtain open if there was no show to begin with. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
And that's where I agree with you 100% what you're saying. If they got rid of the show, then what's the point of the behind the scenes?
Yeah. Yes. Like what are we even doing here at that point? No need. We know how you guys did. It's kind of like watching that show about about showing everybody how magicians pull off tricks.
Yeah.
It's like I
Yep. And
I don't want to
sometimes you
know that.
just want to see the damn magician pull
Yeah,
off the trick. You
I
know what I
I don't want
mean?
to know that. I don't want to freaking know that. Thanks a lot. I don't. You ruined it.
Yeah.
Like we know a trick is a trick. We know a trick is a trick by the very definition of the word you used. We get it. We
Yeah.
get it.
I also feel it is the less skillful approach because getting me to believe, getting me to give you my willing suspension of disbelief is the skill, is the art form
Yes.
that you're doing here.
Yes.
So you spoiling it in real time or not even trying to have my willing suspension of disbelief at all is like a
Yeah.
desperation move. Like what are you even doing then?
Yes. Let me go back to the time when I was like 12 or 13 years old and honestly secretly believed that Sting had supernatural powers. Like but I like
Yeah,
let
or
me believe
Undertaker.
yeah or yeah, let me go back to when I was a teenager and even though I'm growing up and I'm like, yeah, we know Santa Claus doesn't exist. I'm still thinking I better be cool cuz the Undertaker could get me. Like let me let me
Yeah.
be that kid again. Shut up about how stuff is done. I don't need like again. I know what the word trick means. I know what kayfabe means. I know that wrestling isn't real. That's all we need now. Shut up. Give us the show.
Yeah. And I definitely to me, it feels like if I was watching a Jackie Chan film, but, like, right in the middle of the film. Like, we just saw the stunt that he did, and then they stopped, they're like, "Skirt," movie's paused, basically, like, the actual movie, and then they show you how he did the stunt, and I'm like, I don't want that. I want to watch the movie and, for a little while, believe what I'm seeing and enjoy that it's got my willing suspension of disbelief and then
Yeah.
not immediately spoil everything that was cool about it, it's like ruining your own Christmas presents. I'll know soon enough. I don't need it that quick. So I appreciate them attempting to preserve the kayfabe and actually be players on a stage. I don't need to necessarily know when I'm trying to watch the show, I don't need to be reminded constantly that this is a performance. I know it's
Yeah.
a performance. What you're trying to do, the skill, the art form, is to make me for a little bit believe what I'm seeing and enjoy the thrill ride. And you undercut that, if you kill the kayfabe.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Can't disagree. I mean, can't disagree with you. Absolutely agree.
I know we kind of veered off to talking about kayfabe and its value in modern wrestling. I still think it is,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and I'm fairly certain I'm not alone. I mean, we hear from people like Undertaker on their podcast that they don't like, what Unreal's doing. I generally think that there's a very split audience for that. If anything, maybe it's leaning a little more in favor of like, I don't necessarily want to know. Um, but, was that did you also finish summarizing your thoughts about, the championship
Oh
match
yeah.
between
Yeah. Yes. Match of the night.
yeah. Um, for my thoughts, this was Ciampa's in-ring debut in AEW, and he and Mark Briscoe threw everything at one another. There's a 20-minute time limit on the TNT championship match, and they used up 15 and some change minutes of it, and it was, like, just a banger from start to finish, like beyond a certain point, we're like, what is left to hit each other with?
Yeah.
Um, there was a cool spot where Briscoe jumps off of the top turnbuckle to the outside and, puts a standing Ciampa through a table. I was like, that was insane. Um, and I have to say they really fought each other, and you made a good point. Like at the beginning, we were like, "Do you think he has a shot of winning?" Because it'd be easy to say he's not going to win a championship on his first match. Well, AEW, true to form, kept us guessing, and in the end, after a brutal fight, Champa hits Briscoe with a massive knee strike, and this is after they've beaten each other to bits to pick up the victory. And on his debut in-ring match, he becomes the TNT champion.
Yeah.
This was an amazing match, an excellent debut, and a surprising championship change, and a great way to welcome Tommaso Ciampa to AEW. It's almost like this is a counter statement to everything that Ciampa was not thrilled about in his run in WWE's main roster. Like he
Yeah.
shows up day one and gets a singles championship and is taken seriously. He's the psycho killer. He's not DIY or Mrs. Sycophant. Excellent
Yeah.
match and an
Yep.
excellent debut for Tommaso Ciampa. And I agree with you 100% match of the night.
Yeah. Well deserved. Even the audience knew. They were out there yelling, "You deserve it." Yeah.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely. So yeah, this was a huge moment, and to top it off, there was a lot of great honor in the match. Like you mentioned that Mark Briscoe and Ciampa shook hands at the beginning. Somewhere in the middle, after they had been beating the brakes off of each other, they gave each other a quick, like, kind of a slap of the hands to get ready to go for round two. And then at the end, Briscoe approaches Ciampa and shakes his hand, and they embrace again. And so this was just really, really good. But a new challenger steps out onto the entrance ramp almost immediately to let Ciampa know, congrats that you won it, but you're going to have to keep it. And that was one Kyle Fletcher, who stood out on
Yep.
the entrance ramp giving a soft clap while he's looking at Ciampa like, I'm going to take your title, buddy.
Yeah. According to him, it's still his. So,
Yeah,
there's that.
according to him.
There's that. Uh
There is
speaking
that.
speaking of Fletcher, this took us right into the Don Callis family uh doing a response, I believe, right? This is the response to Jet Set or Jet
Jet
no, not
Set Rodeo.
yeah, yes, thank you. Um no, I'm sorry. This was a response to the Don Callis not from Don, but the Death Riders, because this was the response about
Moxley,
Moxley,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
talking to Takeshita, and Josh Alexander was just Kurt
Kurt
Angle from
Angle
Wish.
from Wish.
Yeah. Just freaking out, like his face is right in the camera. He's just tweaking out while there's death and destruction behind him. Of course,
Yeah, we
everybody
don't
is
need a close up of Josh Alexander like that ever
no
again, by
one
the way.
ever needs that. Ever. So how dare you guys? But aside from that, while he's looking really close and psychotic into the camera, uh there are people behind him just tearing ass. Rocky Romero is back there beating people up. Lance Archer is currently killing people. Like, it's just chaos. And essentially my man is basically telling Moxley to mind his own. Like don't try to come and talk to No State, like, or Takeshita. Don't do it. Like, he's not on your level. He's dedicated to the Don Callis family, basically speaking for him, while everyone behind him continues to be decimated. And it even ends with Lance Archer in the camera, laughing. I mean, let me tell you, my man is living his best life. He has never been
Yeah.
more joyful. His soul was full of joy this night. I
The
mean,
glee of a child on Christmas morning he had.
yeah, there was a glint in his eye. Like my man was just so happy about it, and he just giggles up to the camera and like he's done because everybody died, and he's going on about
Yep.
his life. Uh, yeah, I wish I saw him in the ring more, but when I do see him in any capacity, it's entertaining.
It is. Like, he loves beating up the people in the back, like, so
Yeah,
much. He's so happy about it.
yeah, that's like that's Christmas to him. Bloody Christmas.
Bloody Christmas. Everybody died. um,
Yay! Throw some jingle bells at him.
but after the Don Callis family and Lance Archer in particular assassinate a bunch of people in the back, we are brought to our next championship match of the night, the AEW International Championship match, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada versus someone I am not familiar with at all, a guy named Adam Priest. And
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on this match?
Um, I'll keep it brief because I don't like bitching and complaining for 10 minutes. This was not a very good match. It's nothing that the Rainmaker did. I think so. A while back I made mention that that because you Okada, I'll say that trying to say his freaking first name. Um, but Okada is only as good as his opponent in the sense that he's gonna match your energy. Because I mean, he can go either way because people will find him entertaining either way. If he takes it slow and methodical and walks around the apron and fucks with your arm or like a body part on you, fakes an injury, and then when you get close he goes for you again, like he's entertaining to the audience. He'll stop and do that goofy grin, and the people will chant and cheer so he's going to be fine either way. If you don't give him that opportunity and you come at him full force, then he's going to come back at you full force. He's going to give you that same energy, right? And people will be entertained that way. It doesn't matter. He's in a win-win situation. He can do his little smile, the middle finger, and call somebody a bitch, and he's good to go. So it's you. You're the one. You're selling yourself in this situation. He's already sold himself. People are already on board for him. He can go slow. He can go methodical. He can be a quote unquote technical wrestler, which just means he's about to cheat a lot. Or he can go all in with you. He can go balls to the wall, blow for blow, slam for slam. He can do that too, and still be highly entertaining to the audience. The person who needs to get over at this point is you, and I don't think Adam Priest did that at all. He matched the energy and lost the interest of the audience. Um, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't think this was a very good match at all. Again, I don't think it was because of Okada. Okada does what Okada does. He's still going to be entertaining. But the person that he was up against, Mr. Priest, just wasn't very entertaining in my personal opinion. There's nothing that he did that really stood out. Um and it was to me, I was waiting, I was looking for something. So when he did like the bare minimum that looked good, I was like, okay, that looked good. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, you
Yeah.
know, let me love you, bro. I don't know you, but let me mark out for you. Like, give me something because we'll freaking do it. We'll mark out for you, my man. But it didn't happen. I just didn't see it. Um, and unfortunately, first impressions are extremely important. So I'm going to remember him and not for a good reason. So the next time he pops up, I'm gonna be like, that doesn't mean that I won't give him a chance still. I'll still give him a chance. If he's better next time, then maybe he just had an off day. It's a shame. But, you know, as right now, as it stands right now, I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah. I unfortunately have to agree. I think this was the weakest match on the card for Collision. And I don't blame Kazuchika Okada. He's a known commodity, right? Like
Yeah.
we've seen him at his best. But even on this one, I didn't feel like he was that in because I don't even recall him doing the whole like, you know, elbow drop and then he steps over and then he bends down to pick up, something off his shoes or adjust his shoes and then he comes up with the middle finger.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't even
remember him
remember him
doing that.
doing that. So like we didn't get like the most entertaining aspects of Okada here. And honestly, I'm not sure what this match was trying to do. It didn't start off on a good foot. I'm not a fan of Rocky Romero. I think he's not good in the ring and he's not a great character. And yet we get Rocky Romero on announcing, and it's like he's not good at that either. So there's a lot of like, okay, and I don't know who Adam Priest is, but he comes out looking like the most. He's like Johnny Gargano. He comes out looking like the default creator wrestler in 2K, series games. He looks as basic as you can get. So there's
Yeah.
nothing to latch on to. I've got no sense of a personality from this dude. And so the only thing I could think is like maybe this guy's really impressive in the ring. So I assumed that the point of this match occurring was to showcase Adam Priest, but even that didn't end up being the case because I'm with you. I didn't see anything that impressed the pants off of me. And I mean, him just not fucking up some shit is not a good enough bar in AEW. These are where the best wrestle, not the, well, you didn't fuck it up wrestle.
Yeah.
So like this was altogether an uninteresting, boring as fuck match that I felt was completely pointless because Adam Priest, if there was a point to this match, it was for him to show off on Collision to the
Yep.
broader AEW audience because I'm guessing he's been over on Ring of Honor doing some shit or something.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and he didn't do that. He didn't have a good match with Okada. It was boring as fuck balls.
Yep.
And like the most impressive thing I think this guy did was a leg drop off the top rope, and that was it. That was it. There was nothing else. So between having no like significant look, he looked again like a default wrestler, having no personality that I could see, nothing that played out in the ring even, um, and having no move set that was at all impressive. There was just nothing unique or stand out about this guy.
Yeah.
So, and you made the point that Okada is more interesting depending on who he's paired with. So this guy actually made Okada more boring in this
Yeah.
match.
Yes.
So this is the weakest match of the evening, and I even thought, okay, maybe that was just a pretense for like Takeshita to come out or something, like to further his storyline with Okada.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that. So this was just like boring. It was just boring and
Yeah.
pointless compared to
Yep.
everything else that had happened on the card for the night. Like this was the you can safely go to the fridge and make you a snack and run to the bathroom. This is the match that could be completely ignored and you will have lost nothing of value. And that is unfortunate to say because Kazuchika Okada was in it, and that dude can be so much better. This was not good. It wasn't a good showing for Adam Priest, and it was a relatively low point match for Okada.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, after that and being put on life support, we are brought to Lexi Nair, who is having a discussion with members of the Rascals to try and shoot some life back into this. It needs some medicine. Um, And so she's speaking with Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, and Myron Reed, the three members of the Rascals, to get their feelings on their victory. And they're like, "Well, we were just in the parking lot celebrating the win." And Lexi, do you want some medicine? And she's like, "Nah, nah, I'm good." And Reed goes on to say, "Speaking of parking lots, we like those quite a bit. Maybe we could help Uncle Eddie out." And that's when Eddie Kingston walks in and grabs the mic and lets the grizzled young veterans know that him and the Rascals and Ortiz are calling out Big Bill, Brian Keith, and the Grizzled Young Veterans for the parking lot match that they've set up for the next Collision. So it's going to be an 8-man tag team war in the parking lot. And I think he goes on to say, "Pray to whatever gods you believe in, because I'm taking your souls." And I'm like, Undertaker? No. And then he says he needs some medicine, so let's go. And the Rascals are like, "I." Um,
Go back to the parking lot for medicine. I feel
yeah.
like I may take the same medicine they do. I
Oh,
think we
really?
share a similar prescription.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, popular medicines are often prescribed. Um, we get a brief kind of, I want to say it was a video package of all of the contenders that are lining up to go after MJF's AEW World Championship belt.
Yeah.
And it is a stacked list. We've got
Yep.
Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Andrade El Idolo, and sooner than he'll probably be facing any of them, he's got a championship eliminator match coming up against Big Brody
Dynamite.
King. So
Yeah.
MJF with his AEW World Championship has a huge target on his back and is a wanted man.
Yeah. I think he's gonna keep it no matter who it is. I think he's gonna keep it for the time being. But any one of these guys could pull out the win. So I'd be very interested to see how it goes. Because again, if anybody was gonna give another dude like the belt this soon, it'd be AW. AW is crazy.
I really appreciate that about AEW's booking.
I can't. Yeah. Yes.
As fun as it is to be able to be like, well, called it, I also like to be surprised. Like, as a fan, I'm really happy when I'm unexpectedly and pleasantly surprised by the turnout of a match because it wasn't so super entirely predictable in its booking. Case in point being Champa and Briscoe. Like, I was like, this first night, maybe AEW kind of crazy, and it turned out they were. Um, so I agree with you. Any of these guys could get it. Every one of them is AEW World Champion material. So all of these could make for compelling matchups with MJF because he could
Yeah.
lose every single one of these. He could lose against Big Brody King, and we're like, oops. So I'm here for it. I can't remember the last time I've seen such a stacked world championship picture with so much of the top talent all in line. Usually it's like, well, get in line. No, man, they're all coming at the same time.
Yeah. Exciting.
And other than the fact that MJF is just generally an unlikable character, there isn't a particularly heated feud between any one of these men. It's really about the world championship. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And the loathsomeness that is the creature that is MJF.
Yeah.
After that video package, we are once again brought to Lexi Nair. She's working hard tonight. And she's caught up with the psycho killer, Tommaso Ciampa, and he's celebrating with his wife and daughter. He kisses them goodbye and said none of this would have happened without his family by his side. Um, and they were a big part of his decision to step into AEW. And he's felt very welcomed by the fans. He has nothing but respect for Briscoe. And he had heard for a long time that AEW is where the best wrestle. But the Psycho Killer has been here for less than a week, and he's your TNT champion already. So he talked him a little smack. Um, but then he told the TNT title that he just won that I love you too. Man, that was a fast relationship. Um, so him and his family are taking their new baby sister daughter, aka the TNT championship, away to celebrate. That was weird.
Oh
Um,
no.
But yeah, it was good to see Champa celebrating his new win. And I mean, I can't think of AEW doing with him the exact thing that answers the issues for why I'm certain, especially in post, like since he's left WWE, he's talked more in more interviews, and you can hear that a big part of the reason he left was because he was frustrated that creatively he wasn't going anywhere, and opportunity didn't seem to be popping for him, and it just never manifested. And immediately AEW, the opportunity manifests. Like,
Yeah,
what an answer to the grievances he had. So, welcome to AEW, Tommaso Ciampa.
indeed.
And that leads us to the main event of the evening, which is AEW's Women's World Tag Teams Championship match. Whew, that's a mouthful. The Babes of Wrath, who are the defending champions, versus the Sisters of Sin, which is Sky Blue and Julia Hart. And what were your thoughts on this main event?
I honestly didn't know it was the main event. Uh, and maybe because my head was still in the clouds with the Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe. I don't know, but I actually didn't know. Not saying that this was a bad match. It was actually pretty good. This was another match that was better than I thought it was going to be. And it's mostly because I've been, I think, one of Julia Hart's uh loud critics since she's returned. I think that since she's come back, I think she had an injury. I'm not sure, but since she's come back from, I think, injury, she just hasn't been her old self. And again, guys, this is all just my opinion. Like I don't know this woman. We aren't you know what I mean? Like I don't know what's going on with her. This is all how I saw it. I didn't feel like she was going as hard on the paint as she did before she left. Um and I kind of feel like she's been doing like half-ass. Like to me, she has been in the ring the equivalency of what Sky has on her face. Like the character that Sky used to have where she was just dead-eyed, like she just didn't want to be there. She walked like her shoulders were slumped. She walked like a 15-year-old who just was told that she had to get ready to go to church. That's how she walked up to the ring. Like she just did not want to do it. That personality has been adopted in the wrestling style of Julia Hart. Like that, just kind of like whatever. That's how I felt. But I don't think that she gave me a whatever performance for this main event. Her and Sky looked good together. Sky has been extremely impressive. Uh, so that's kind of like, the opposite of what Julia's done since her return. When Sky came back, she came back with a newfound, like hunger, it almost seemed, for what she was doing. So she's been looking fantastic in the ring, and not just her moves, but her physique as well. Like she's been taking uh
Yeah,
this shit very serious. Like I can see that she has been spending time in the gym or spending time cultivating a
every leg
physical.
day.
Yes, exactly. Um, so she looks great in multiple ways, and they both looked pretty damn good for this match. The other star of the channel in this match, I think, was Harley. Ever since Harley has because I mean she's kind of worked her way into the position that she's in now. Hard work, dedication, cracking jokes, but also showing some sort of competency in the ring and a competitive side. Like that's what got her where she is now. She has done with her character what I had hoped Danhausen would do with his. Um, be a funny character, but then also someone that you would have to take seriously in the ring. And you gotta kind of take her seriously because she's not fucking around. Like you can laugh all you want, but she's gonna get like a little sneak hit in on you, and then before you know it, it'll be 1, 2, 3, and you're done. That's what they're doing with her, and I like where they're going. I think this is a better character development than Maxine Dupree's storyline, where she has worked hard, got the belt taken away from her, and then immediately backstabbed by her trainer. Like immediately, they wasted no time to just have this fucking female betrayal storyline pop off. Um, I think what they've done with Harley is a better example of building up a rookie, if that makes any sense. In fact, they've already given her a belt and she still has the damn thing. So, yeah. But back to the match. This match was it was better, like I said, better than I thought. Entertaining. Willow always looks smashing. Um, and they did a great job, or she does a great job of making herself appear very physically dominant. Um, she pulls off power moves that makes me very happy. She has quickly become one of my favorites. At first, I don't know, I was kind of squinting at Willow, like looking at her side eye, bombastic side eye. But now, now I like she's one of my favorites. Right alongside Statlander. So, yeah, this great match.
Yeah, I have to agree. This was a good match. Everybody more or less looked good in the ring. Um, Ultimately, the Babes of Wrath hit a huge tag team move that involved some eat defeat. And then Willow basically butt hugs Sky Blue for the pin. Um, After the match, Tekla comes out and the Triangle of Madness all attack the Babes of Wrath. This, of course, draws out Chris Statlander, who evens things up a little bit until one Penelope Ford shows up and blindsides her with some forearm shots to the back of the head. And this buys time for Megan Bain to hit the ring and join in on the beatdown. And with those kind of numbers, the Triangle of Madness, Bane, and Ford all end up standing over these fallen champions to close the show. So there's some kind of a war brewing there. And I mean, if you take the Cosmic Babes of Wrath, you got 3, but there's 5 women on that side, possibly 6, because Shafira's worked with Bane in a tag team before.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking that there's a setup for like a women's blood and guts match brewing here. And I'm wondering who the Cosmic Babes of Wrath call on to aid them to even out those numbers. Would Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa?
Rhea Ripley.
What? Um, that would be impressive considering that would be the biggest cross promotion. Like that is the extra forbidden
Yeah.
door getting open.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Wishful thinking.
But there's a buildup here that looks like we're gonna have like some gang violence between this and like what's going on with the grizzled young veterans and Big Bill and
the
Brian
street
Keith
fight.
versus Ortiz and all them.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was saying yeah.
Then we've got the makings for like a men's and women's blood and guts match on the horizon, where
Yep.
these big teams are forming. Um, I do want to take a moment to speak to kind of some of the stuff you were saying with regards to Julia Hart, and that puts me in mind of like what we were saying about Jamie Hayter. Like they were on a big push. Like both of them were the AEW Women's Champion, as a matter of fact. Then they get injured and they have to leave the belt, and then they eventually come back, and they're somehow just not as good.
Yeah.
Like Hayter lost a step and Julia Hart lost a step. And Julia was on a big push. Like when she did her comeback, they did some videos for her and some other stuff. But you're right. Like since she's come back, her in-ring work just hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
And
It's just
so
different
I'm
now.
I would love to see both of these women kind of be able to make a comeback because out of the 4 that were in this match, right? Like Willow looks thrilled to be in any match and get TV
Yeah.
time every time she comes out there. Like, and Harley Cameron is working her ass off every time she comes out there because her in-ring work is the spot that she's always had to work on the most. Because she's got plenty of personality and talent outside of the ring, like in spades. And Sky Blue, ever since she's returned from her injury, she's been on the opposite trajectory. She's been working hard. Like she's trying to improve her in-ring. She hurt her leg when she got injured. So I guess like during rehab and ever since she's been back, she has made leg day an absolute priority. And subsequently, everything from about her hips down is looking fantastic. Like she has great legs on her now.
Yeah.
They weren't bad before, they've only gotten better. So she is working really hard and she tries really hard to improve her in-ring work. So the only one that I see kind of more often than not kind of feeling like they're phoning it in is Julia Hart. And I don't know what has happened, but I know that Julia and Hayter in both instances are like they had former glory, and I don't see them on a path to getting back to it. But I'd
Yeah.
like to. So I agree with you with regards to what you were saying about Julia Hart, and I'm just pairing that up with a similar circumstance that I see between her and Hayter. Like they got injured, lost the belt, and just haven't returned to their former glory since.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Or I can see the comparison.
Yeah. So that was Collision, and what was your review of this episode?
I'm gonna have to give this an 8.5 neck nubs. There was only one bad match. Uh and it was bad because Okada's opponent was just meh. Um Other than that though, this is a pretty banging episode. Again, Collision hits a home run in my opinion. Um Giving Champa the belt, his first match for a championship, brilliant. I feel like that's the respect deserved for Champa because he's been phenomenal. It has like everything that he has done, he's been uh uh the best of what he was allowed to be in one promotion, and now I think he's just gonna be the best he can be absolutely in this one, and I'm here for it. I'm rooting for him. I'm already more entertained by him now than I ever was in WWE. So I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready for this. But the show like all together, definitely top tier.
I'm inclined to agree. This was a solid episode with strong matches for most of the night, with that one exception. And it wasn't that it was objectively bad. Like there wasn't like 50 botches and everything, but it was just
Right.
boring. And when you're
Yeah.
an entertainment product, that is the worst thing to be. But you enter into a surprising in-ring debut that results in a brand new champion in Tommaso Ciampa, and I'm gonna have to give this a solid 8. That makes this episode of Collision top tier.
Yep.
Well, that has been our coverage of AEW Collision, and I want to thank everybody who joined us for this episode. And I invite you to catch our next episode, which should be our coverage of AEW Dynamite. Until then, I don't think there's much for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest wrestling news and shows. You can find us on all major podcast platforms, as well as our YouTube channel, where we upload all of our episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and X for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.